everybody. Here we are with the beautiful Aarti Bajaj. Aarti is getting ready with her theatre company, Wild Dreamer Productions, to open Void, which is a really special production that Aarti's going to talk about at HOTA up on the Gold Coast. Is that right?
Yes, it is at HOTA, just another 8 days to go, 3rd, 4th and 5th of June.
Very, very exciting. So we were chatting a little bit earlier about why I'm so interested in this production. We like to support all kinds of work, and this production, Void, really caught our eye at Stage Centre. I noticed in one of your interviews you do say to people, bring tissues, because it's a very intense and I suspect a deeply moving piece of work, but one which needs to be told. So tell everybody here what inspired Void and what might people expect to experience.
Well, what inspired us to take on Void, both as a company and me as an artist, is the intensity and the necessity of the story to be told to the wider audience. Also, personally, I'm a mum of 2 kids. Subconsciously, every parent would always, when we, in our day-to-day lives, we send them to school, we drop them to school, we send them to birthday parties, we take them to parks, all sorts of things. We don't verbalize it, but something always inside us is like, I hope when I pick them up, I find them again in the same form, happy, sound, safe. So when I read the script and when the director and the dramaturg, Mr. Jim Corgill, showed us the script, it was no brainer. I was immediately drawn to it. But the way we function at Wild Dreamer is when there is a concept or a story that comes across, we first go out there and research about it, the need or the necessity, because we take pride in being a purposeful arts company. Like, we like to champion topics which are to be told. And surprisingly, every 15 minutes in Australia, one person goes missing. That's a huge number. And for a population like Australia, if that's a number, one could only imagine what's the statistics all across the world. So it's quite scary. And then when I related that to the arts industry to see if or how many productions have been done on this topic, you could literally count on fingers. It was something that people don't like to touch on because of the nature of the story or the subject. But also, I can understand where the industry comes from, but it has a very ephemeral way of thinking, quick P&Ls, quick box office collection. And also many a times, people have difficult lives anyways. So we like to make more entertaining stuff rather than cerebral and engaging stuff. So every genre has its space, but putting all this together, we said, yes, we will take Void.
And look, I just relate to so much that you just said, particularly as a mum. I have 4 children. They're grown now, but that is a very real thing. We spend our lives as parents worrying and trying to keep our children safe, and we, as you know, and you just mentioned, one person every 15 minutes goes missing. And so we are consciously aware of that as parents, and it's our worst nightmare that something would happen to our child or to anybody that we love. And also appreciate what you're saying about the place of different genres, because yes, as you said, many of us like to go to the theatre to be entertained, to escape the challenges and heartaches of our actual lives at times. But it is also a place to challenge ourselves, to be provoked, to think, to explore and become aware of the journeys of other people, which we might not otherwise be, and what it is like for somebody to be going through such a tragic, heartbreaking experience. And it's a certain kind of a loss. Any loss of someone that we love is devastating. But when somebody goes missing, there's another layer of that, isn't there?
Yes, the fear of unknown, what has happened.
Mm,
Will I ever be able to find that person again?
mm,
And when and if I do find the person again, will that person still be in the same shape and form, mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially?
mm.
So, and especially when, as you said, someone you love, or coming even more closer, someone, your child,
Yeah, yes.
yeah, it is important.
So how many people are involved in this production, Artie?
So before even explaining all of that, let me explain a little bit about the story.
Yes,
Mum, so it's a story about a couple, husband and wife, who lost their child in a park when the daughter was 4 year old. Mother and daughter share their birthday on the same day. It
mm,
was her fourth birthday. Mum takes her to the park, and dad was supposed to join them later. And this horrific incident happens then. And today would have been 14 years have gone by, and today would have been her 18th birthday, the daughter's 18th birthday.
okay.
So, so both mum and dad have come to visit that park separately. And what has happened in their personal life since the act happened of abduction, that's what the story is. So the first act is all about the mum. And so woman, mum, parent, these are the feelings that she portrays on the stage, one
Mm,
person. And then the second act is about the father, man, dad's perspective, as in, how has he seen these past 14 years, at the relationship level, personal level, and as a father. So it is two people's play,
mm,
and we have singing and dancing as well. It is very much, so you could categorize it as a musical, but it is more heavily theater based. So the first half has dancing and singing. So I act and dance, but there is another singer, Angie, who would be singing
mm,
um, while I act and dance.
mhm.
And the second half, Lance, who was the actor, he will be singing and acting while there is a little girl called Ashani who comes in and out while the songs are happening,
Oh,
with
yeah,
her to
yeah.
dance. So this is the cast, and of course, the rest of the crew goes along with it.
Right, right. Wow, what a beautiful sounding production and very cleverly done by the sound of it. So clearly in this story, the little girl was never found. And so yeah, these parents are continuing or reflecting on their journey of grief of the past 14 years.
That's correct. And what happens at the end is something that the audience will have to come and see it themselves.
There's
But
so much in this production from the backgrounds of all of you involved, the concept, the topic, the provocative nature. It sounds like we're really being challenged to explore some difficult emotions, but they are the emotions that are being experienced by people who very tragically are in this situation. And hopefully what it bring up for us is a deeper level of compassion and understanding for the kinds of journeys that many of our friends and family and fellow humans have to experience.
con of this new age is that we're losing, as much as we're becoming technologically savvy, we're losing the human touch. We can't stop. Whatever is evolved can't go back. So if I said, let's stop the technological age, that's not going to happen. But what we still have in hand is the performing arts, which will keep people connected even in this technological age. So I hope people understand that.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more on that. And as we were discussing earlier, I also come from a health background. I was a social worker for 25 years and dealing in all kinds of ways with people's psychology and emotion and the challenges that are thrust upon them unexpectedly. So and as part of that, understanding the importance always of connection. So those of us who are connected and well supported do better in life in a host of ways. That's just human nature. But society certainly has, with all its innovations, unfortunately resulted in us being quite isolated. You know, we don't queue up for things in shops anymore. We buy them online. We don't catch up at the post office. We don't go to as many, you know, physical gatherings, and certainly post, you know, the acute phase of COVID here, that was necessary. And I think perhaps that highlighted to us just how much we did take for granted the connection and the live experience aspect of life. So so theatre is such an important and integral way of being able to connect with other people and to experience something in the moment that doesn't have to be photographed or recorded to remember.
Right.
So, you know, it is very important. And in terms of, you know, what you were saying earlier about the consumption of theatre and some of the challenges associated with that, that's certainly why Stage Centre exists. And that's certainly why we created the Stage Centre app, which was the brainchild of our founder, Richard Block. And because we wanted to make theatre more accessible, and we understood that, and we understand that marketing our beautiful work like Void is a real challenge. It's very hard to compete with budgets that are larger than ours might be, you know, and at oftentimes a crowded marketplace, which it had been, but just in people knowing where to find shows. So people could be around the corner from HOTA and not know that Void's on. So we wanted to create something that made it easy for people to find all genres of theatre, so that they don't have to, you know, traipse around looking at different websites and comparing and seeing how far things are, and to give them choices so that there are shows there that might be $25 a ticket, and there are shows that could be $200 a ticket, but that gives people choices, and so that it stops it being perhaps in what might have been some people's view an elite pastime to go to the theatre. And we had the beautiful opportunity, I don't know whether you saw it, of interviewing Canberra Youth Theatre after one of their productions the other night. And the wisdom and the insight that came out of those young people's hearts and minds was just mind-blowing. And it was a testament. I think somebody reposted it and said, look, if anyone ever doubts the value of investing in youth arts, please look at this video, because they were talking about their sense of belonging and their ability to be heard and to have a voice, and this is so important for our young people. So, you know, so we're hopeful that more and more young people will continue to enjoy the rewards of being involved in theatre for a host of reasons. And as you say, that we don't fall foul of some trends which might otherwise threaten our ongoing theatre community and the blessings and the joy that comes from that. So it's a task that we're all working together on, I think, is how can we support each other? How can we work together to share our work, to promote our work, because there's enough for everybody to go around as long as people know about it. And so that's why we love doing these interviews, and I thank you very kindly for taking time out, because I know it's getting busy and you're getting close to opening. So let's talk about that. Opens on, is it the 3rd of June?
That's correct. 3rd, 4th and 5th of June. 3rd is all house full, which is amazing. We've got a very few tickets left on 4th and 5th, so hopefully.
Oh. Okay, people, well, don't miss this beautiful work. If you are up near the Gold Coast, I wish we were, because I would love to see it. But hopefully, you know, it might be done again. One never knows. So, so yes, if you are near HOTA, people, please get to this absolutely beautiful production. I'm sure that you won't regret it, and I think this is the kind of thing that we really need to include in our theatre going life. And thank you very much, Aarti, for joining us. And yes, people, get your tickets from Wild Dreamer Productions, HOTA, or you can download the Stage Centre app. It's free. All the details are there for you to find, buy tickets and locate HOTA. So have a wonderful day, Aarti. We look forward to hearing more about Void and supporting it. We'll certainly be sharing a little bit more about that as it gets closer. And well done to all of you involved on, you know, thinking of this work, having the courage to put it on, and I can't wait to hear the reviews.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bernie. And I truly appreciate this platform. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Thanks, Aarti. Bye.
Life shine with light serene. May you sparkle, may you sparkle, shimmer.